When we solve systems of equations by graphing, the first thing that we want to look for is our y-intercept. Our first y-intercept would be a positive 3, so I'm going to go up on the y-axis, and I'm going to make a mark at 3. Now with my slope, you'll see that there's a negative sign in front of the fraction. So I'm going to extend this line across and just bring the negative sign up to the top. So from here, I have to use the slope negative 5 over 3. Since the top number is a negative 5, it's telling me to go down 5. And since the bottom number is positive, it's telling me to go to the right. So from this point that I made, I have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, and then go over 1, 2, 3, and I make a mark. Since that's all that will fit on the graph, I'm going to go ahead and make a line and extend it with arrows on each end. After I've graphed the first line, I'm going to graph the second, which starts at negative 3, so I'm going to make my mark. And now I use the slope 1 over 3. The positive 1 tells me to go up 1. The positive 3 tells me to go to the right 3. So from this mark, I go up 1 over 3. And you'll notice that that mark goes right on top of the other red mark. So that means this point right here that I'm highlighting is our point of intersection. I want to list the coordinate point at where that intersection takes place. So you'll notice I'm highlighting my x-axis right here. I have to go over 3 spaces on my x-axis, and I'm going to highlight my y-axis now. I have to go down 2 spaces in order to be in line with that dot. So my final answer is going to be 3, negative 2. On problem 2, again, I'm going to start at my y-intercept, which is a plus 3. Make a mark. Then I have to use my slope to find more points. Now right now it says my slope is 4, and it's not listed as a fraction. To make it a fraction, I'm going to put it over 1, which tells me that I have to go up 4 and to the right 1. If I go up 4, you'll notice that I'm off the graph, and then I go over 1, so it'd be about right here. When it goes off the graph like that, you want to check to see how to get back to your original point. So from this point here that I just kind of highlighted in black, to get to my other point down here, I have to go down 2, 3, 4 to the left 1. So I'm going to use that same method to finish this. I'm going to go down 2, 3, 4 to the left 1, down 2, 3, 4 to the left 1, and you'll notice that it's all in a line. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it with arrows on each end. And then I'm going to look at my next equation. My y-intercept is at negative 2. Now my slope, I'm going to just kind of rewrite it over here. It just says negative x. And remember, if there's not a number in front of the x, you squeeze a 1 in there. We're going to make it over 1. So this negative 1 over 1 tells me I have to go down 1 to the right 1. So from this red dot, I go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. When I connect, you'll notice that that line goes straight through this point right here that I'm highlighting. And I want to make my coordinate points known. So on my x-axis, which I'm highlighting, I had to go to negative 1. And on my y-axis, I had to go down 1, which is, again, negative 1. So there's my final answer. On number 3, I noticed the negative right away, so I'm going to extend my line and take the negative to the top. My y-intercept is negative 1, so I'm going to make a mark. And my slope is negative 1 over 2, which directs me down 1 to the right 2. The negative 1 tells me down, and the 2 tells me to the right. So I keep going down 1 to the right 2. I could continue this pattern and go in the opposite direction as well. But at the end, I have to connect with arrows on each end. With the second equation, my y-intercept is negative 4, and my slope is 1 over 4, which is up 1 over 4. Up 1 over 4, I make a mark, and I see my point of intersection right here. Again, I list my coordinate points. I have to go on my x-axis, which I'm highlighting. I've got to go over to 4, and on my y, I have to go down 3. So I've got an x of 4 and a y of negative 3. On number 4, you'll notice that in this equation, there are no x's, so I could rewrite this as 0 x's minus 1. My y-intercept then would be at negative 1. To make my 0 slope a 0 over 1, I go up 0 over 1, up 0 over 1, and I could continue on, but it's going to look like this. For my next one, I see a negative, so I'm going to draw the line in and bring it to the top. My y-intercept is at 4, and my slope is negative 5 over 2, which tells me to go down 5 to the right 2. Puts me right here. I connect with arrows on each end. And if I write my coordinate point, on my x-axis, I had to go over to 2, and on my y, I had to go down 1. On question 5, my y-intercept is at negative 4, and my slope is 3 over 1, so I'm going up 3 to the right 1, up 1, 2, 3 to the right 1, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. I'm going to connect with arrows on each end. On the second equation, I'm going to bring the negative to the top. I'll first plot my y-intercept, and my slope is negative 1 over 2, which means down 1 over 2. I already noticed where they meet up, so I have to put this coordinate point down for my answer. On my x-axis, I had to go over 2, and on my y-axis, this time I had to go up 2. The next equation, I'm going to plot my y-intercept, which is 2. My slope is negative 2 over 1, which is down 2 to the right 1. Connect with arrows on each end. I'm going to do my second one. I have a y-intercept of negative 2, and my slope again is negative 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. If I go in the opposite direction, and when I connect, I notice that they never cross because they're parallel lines. So my answer for this one is no solution. The next two slopes have negatives, so I'm just going to graph these or change those so that's at the top. I'm first going to plot my y-intercept, negative 2. Then I use my slope, which is negative 1 over 2, telling me to go down 1 to the right 2. I connect with arrows on each end. My next intercept is at positive 2, and I have a slope of negative 3 over 2, which is down 3 to the right 2. When I connect, I notice where they meet. On my x-axis, I have to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And on my y, I have to go down 2, 3, 4. So I have 4, negative 4. For the last one, my first y-intercept is at negative 3. My slope is 1 over 3, which directs me up 1 over 3, up 1 over 1, 2, 3. I could also go in the opposite direction. Connect. For the last one, my y-intercept's at positive 1. Since it just says negative x, I'm going to squeeze that 1 in there. Since my slope is negative 1 over 1, it's directing me down 1 to the right 1. And I notice where they intersect. My answer, on my x-axis, I had to go over 3, and on my y-axis, I had to go down 2. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. It's sullivana@milton.k12.wi.us.